Hi, I'm Chef Bob Wagner from You Cook with Chef Bob. This month, I am lucky enough to have John Casala, the winemaker and owner of Yellowtail Wines, the Reserve line that is out right now. And we were doing this incredible monthly dish that's kind of fun. This month is Tiki Month, sort of staycation, stay-at-home vacations when you want to stay home because you don't want to go anywhere. You love where you live and you want to stay at home and do something fun. I'm thinking tiki bar kind of feel. We're going to grill something. I got some duck. And I tell you, in the South, we love duck. We're in Charleston. We're loving it. Do you get duck at all in Australia?
Fairly dry continent. We don't get that
not
many,
not a lot of duck. But you can probably find
Yeah,
it in the better markets and those kind of things. And we have the Shiraz. Shiraz? Is there a...
depending on the pronunciation.
It depends on where you are.
Shiraz, in Australia it's Shiraz. So
Shiraz.
It's
well,
all one variety, one noble variety.
And I don't think a lot of people know that. Syrah in the Rhone Valley, which is known for years and years and years, and now the Australians, you in particular, have taken it over and spread it all over our country.
We've got some of the oldest plantings in the world because there are plantings that go back to almost the original grape planting. So Shiraz is one of those varieties. It's full, it's soft, it's fruity.
And obviously it's hanging in there because it's been around that long. And obviously a crowd pleaser, I think, too, because I love this wine. I know your wine.
That is our best-selling red, and I really enjoy Shiraz because it's plump, it's soft, it's fruity, and it complements anything from a barbecue to a very expensive meal.
Temperature-wise, I know you're embarrassed to say it, we're the only ones still working on the Fahrenheit, but we're probably looking at 55, 58, 60 degrees.
It's very important to get the best flavour from your wine, get the best balance to serve it between 15 and 20 degrees.
So you wanted to, so what, chill it a little bit beforehand?
Just a little bit. Just about
and people don't know that. People don't worry about reds. You don't chill it. Why do you have it in the refrigerator?
It's sad they pay a lot of money sometimes and don't get the full enjoyment from that wine.
And when it's hot, there's nothing worse than that. I mean, you go into a restaurant and you feel like the guy's got underneath the oven or something like that.
It tastes very thin. It tastes very hard.
Right, and alcohol comes out of it. It's like, wow, this isn't...
Exactly. You could almost double the drinking pleasure by having it at the right temperature.
Does that mean you can drink twice as much? Yes, that was a yes. I'll take that as a yes. So, well, what we're going to do, we have, let me go through my ingredients real quick here. We have a duck breast, this beautiful, beautiful duck breast here. We've still got the skin on it. We've got a little bit of mint. We've got some mango. If you didn't have mango, if you wanted to use peaches, that would be good too. And we've got some blackberries. We've got some cherries. I've sort of pitted these guys, actually just cut along the sides. Some snow peas that I've just gently blanched in some boiling salty water. So they're a little bit tender, but still a little bit of crunch to them. Some shallots, a little red onion, some grapeseed oil, salt and pepper, and easy enough. Now, I truly love to cook with wine. I love having wine in everything I do. I love drinking the wine and trying to cook with that same wine. So I'm going to steal a little bit of this, and we're going to reduce this down. We're going to cook this, almost make a vinaigrette, and you can do this ahead of time if you want to. The one important thing is you want to definitely do it while it's hot. I'm going to chop some shallots here, kind of just run through these guys.
I always love the way the chefs chop those onions.
Well, hopefully I'll only be chopping onions at this point, and it doesn't really matter as long as they're all the same size. You want to be careful as you're slicing along these guys, not to have a big chunk, so that it all cooks and you're thinking, wow, that's a lot of shallots, but that's actually going to, rather than having an egg yolk or something to emulsify this sauce and kind of hold it all together, those shallots are going to help bind all that together. We're going to cook that down, concentrate all that wonderful Shiraz and all the wonderful flavors that you have come up with and built into this, those truly fruit-driven wines that I love about this. Imagine concentrating that down into something really fun, and that's what we're going to do. We're going to do that, and at the same time, we're going to add our berries. Some blackberries, and then our cherries also, and it's going to obviously there's natural pectin in all these fruits, so they're going to help thicken this also as it goes along, and then we're going to end up pureeing this in our blender. I'm going to let that do its thing. We're going to turn that way up. If you want to, you can flame it. Obviously, that alcohol will burn off once it's reduced down anyway. While that's doing its thing, we're going to take the skin off of our duck breast. Usually there's a side like this where you can almost just get your finger underneath that and start up. Ash knows I love fat, but on something like this, when grilling, if we were to put this on the grill,
it would flame up like crazy.
Yeah, it would flame up like crazy, and you'd probably have to call the fire department. And we don't want that, do we, John? Now I'm assuming in a hot part of the world like you're living in? Is there a lot of barbecue going on, or do you don't want to be outside?
No, we're renowned for our barbecues. Even if it's hot, we still go outside.
I like that.
We love our lamb, we love our beef.
Now these guys, I've taken a little bit, what we call this here is silver skin, and duck is very tender, as long as you don't overcook it. But that little piece there is just almost like what they call silver skin. Yeah, sinew, exactly, that's what it is. And that's like chewing gum if you, especially if you overcook that. So we're gonna drop that guy in there. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put these, cut all these into pieces that we can actually put on our skewer. I'm going to take this guy off and save him. That's a little filet mignon. It's kind of fun. We can probably do that guy later. And you don't want to do this too thin because it's going to grill a little bit. So we're going to lay these guys out.
And so they're going to be flame grilled?
Yeah. So barbecue, or if you're lucky enough to have a big sexy kitchen like we do here in Charleston, we've got our own little grill in the kitchen, which is sounding impressive because I don't have one of these at home, but
and they're not being basted at all, just cooked as they are. Just
like that. I like true flavors of duck rather than marinating in something, and I'd rather make my sauce that's truly, you know, a really concentrated flavor, and then go more towards the true flavor of the duck and the vegetables and the fruits, and then kind of just finish it off with a little bit of sauce that sort of, you know, complements it rather than really drowning out this in red wine or, you know, berry flavor or something like that. So we're going to do these guys about the same size. This is mango that all I've done is just cut the skin off. See, like this guy here. So we're going to have our mango ready to go. Got our snow peas. We're going to try and get the same thing with our red onions. Keep these guys about the same size too.
And they get grilled as well?
They're going to be on there too. We're actually just a skewer.
Oh, okay. You're just going to skewer those. Okay.
It's like it's a Bob making a kebab, if you will. So it's one of those easy things. Another piece of meat, and then we're going to go in. Let's do 2 little pieces of onion on top of that, like that. I'm going to try and keep them about the same level, so that when it grills and all this. But you know what? I'm even going to throw, I'm going to get rid of all my cherries. I'm going to let's put a couple cherries on there too. I'm assuming you're going to find cherries. So there's cherries. Are we finding cherry hints in the Shiraz a little bit?
It's surprising when you look at a wine how many fruit flavors there are. And there are always hints of raspberry, cherries, flavors like vanilla, fresh cut grass and Cabernet. So there's a lot of relationship between the flavors in wine and some of the food items that people eat and drink.
Now, have these, are all the reserve wines, have they all spent time in oak barrels, or?
Well, with our reserve wines, what we do, it's normally about fruit selection, the region it comes from, and the quality of fruit. So depending on season, and we sort of choose the best season for the best region, and have a different vinification process. The wines are actually cold soaked, and that's the process of chilling the grapes after crushing, leaving them in tanks, then warming them up and allowing the fermentation to take place, and then part of it, or all of it, depending on the season, and the wine is then barrel aged.
An American oak or French oak, or the combination?
A combination, because there's good characteristics in American, there's good characteristics in French. So, so it really depends then what style we want to end up with and what flavour profile we want as to the proportion of each that we use. And
we can find these all over I know it's all this sort of actually something new. The reserves are just now coming out. Well, actually, they've been out a couple months. This is June,
they've been out for a little while, and basically it's almost a relaunch because we've looked at it. We've got good fruit supply. We've really got our winemaking sorted out, so it's a product that I know we're quite proud of, and I know that consumers will enjoy. And it's only around $12 or $11, depending on where you buy it.
For a reserve wine. For a reserve.
You
got it. I gotta like that, and I give you guys credit, and I've raved about your wines forever because of that. Because you know, when you can do a great wine, and I wasn't even sure. I was thinking $20, $25. Reserve already scares me. That's a scary word, but to have something in, what'd you say, $11, $12?
$11, $12. It's a yellowtail product, and at the end of the day, it's about offering value and making sure that when the consumers buy our product, they're more than satisfied and have more than satisfaction when they drink that wine.
So the Shiraz drinker of your original, that's probably $5, $6?
He certainly would notice a difference. It's one step up, and he obviously enjoys the yellowtail